tss.thesan. This is part 2 of my scholarship series. So if you haven't watched out the first part yet, make sure you check it out after you leave this video later. Because it's about the whole process of me securing a 400,000 scholarships, including my interview questions. So make sure you check it out afterwards. So today we have 3 JPA scholars with us, and for your information, they are not only JPA scholars, but also all of them scored 9 A+ and above in SPM 2022. So now let's take a moment to meet each of them.
Hello everybody, so my name is Hiiii, and for my SPM 2022 I got 9 A+ and 1 A. Currently I'm under the JPA JKPJ Scholarship German program, and I am currently studying OSMET in Sunway College.
Hello everybody, so my name is Teja Shrini, and for SPM 2022 I scored 11 A+, and I'm currently under JPA LSPM Scholarship. Now I'm doing A-levels at Sunway College.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason, and in 2022 I scored 11 A+ in SPM, and I'm currently studying A-level in Sunway College under JPA sponsorship.
So we have total 4 types of JPA scholarship, which is MARA, LSPM, JKPJ, and PPN. So in this video, we'll focus on LSPM and JKPJ. So let's check it out. So first, could you briefly describe the scholarship that you're taking?
So JPA LSPM Scholarship allows you to study 100% locally for both your pre-U and also for your undergraduate degree.
And the only special criteria for JPA LSPM is you need to get 9 A+ in your SPM. Don't bother which subject you're taking, just 9 A+.
JKPJ is a scholarship offered by JPA for SPM students to continue to pursue their studies overseas, typically in these 4 countries, which are Japan, Korea, France and Germany. So courses provided include engineering, science and technology, and also social science. In terms of the criteria will be slightly different based on whatever course you choose. So these are the criteria for my batch.
Okay, so second question, how is the allowance?
So for JPA LSPM Scholarship, JPA will give us allowance and they will pay us 2 times in a year. So for our batch, we are getting monthly 530 ringgit, but then they will pay us a lump sum of amount for total 6 months in one time. All of us have a Bank Islam account. They will pay us via that. We students have to be smart enough and wise enough to manage that amount of money for the whole 6 months, and particularly for me, 530 ringgit for 1 month is enough. But it's just my opinion because I'm a person who don't go out very often and I eat more home cooked food, so I don't spend that amount of money. It's not a big problem for me, but most of my colleagues, they feel that this amount of money is not enough for them. But I think it totally depends on the person and how you spend the money.
Apart from the living expenses covered by JPA, JPA also covers for your rental fees and also admission tests. Let's talk about admission tests first. You can take 3 admission tests for a maximum amount of 1,500 ringgit. The admission tests including like the UMI admission test, for example, ISET for Monash. Another test you can take is like IELTS. JPA will cover for one-time IELTS, which means if you want to retake IELTS the second time, the fees JPA will not cover for you. And then JPA also cover for your rental fees. For pre-university students, JPA will directly pay for your rental fees to the school, but for university degree things is another case, because when it comes to degree, the JPA will not cover for your rental fees, but they will just increase the amount of the money they give you, and you need to cover the rental fees for yourself. You need to manage the money more wisely when it comes to degree.
So the allowance for JKPJ is 530 ringgit. So it is actually the same as LSPM, just as it is stated by Jason and Teja. Personally for me, it is just barely enough. However, I think that one should manage his money wisely so that he doesn't need to spend too much money during his period of study. Apart from that, the rental is also being covered by JPA, so we do not need to allocate money out from our allowance to pay for the rent. And currently in Malaysia, we receive our allowance in RM. However, when we travel overseas and study overseas, we will receive our allowances according to the currency used in that respective country, such as in Germany or France, we will receive our allowance in euros.
So third question, how is the minimum requirement of the academic result for you to maintain the JPA scholarship?
So currently, Jason and I, both of us are doing A-levels at Sunway College, and JPA only covers for 3 subjects for A-levels. So if you want to take additional 4th subject, the additional 4th subject you have to cover entirely by yourself. Only for the 4th subject you have to cover on your own. And when it comes to the academic requirement, we as JPA scholars, we have to maintain a certain baseline set by JPA. For example, for A-levels is 14 points, which is for A star and A is 5 points, B is 4 points, C is 3 points, and so on. So if you're taking 3 subjects, the minimum requirements is A, and B. So we have to maintain our results for every exam, and for every exam you have to update to JPA. There is a website for JPA scholars called Myself JPA. So whenever you do an exam and you get to know about your results, so you have to update the results to JPA. And what if you fail to meet the baseline? So you have to justify the reason by sending them the appropriate letter, telling them the reason why you fall below the baseline. And if JPA feels it's appropriate, they will give you second chance. But if JPA feels it's not appropriate, it's not a good thing, then they might terminate your contract. So I would suggest everyone to always check on their results and study properly.
According to the baseline set by JPA, when we are studying OSMAT in Sunway College, we need to achieve a minimum ATA of 80 in order to continue our studies overseas. And according to JPA, most of our seniors have successfully achieved a minimum ATA of 80 to continue studying overseas. So it is not really too difficult to achieve a minimum ATA of 80. However, if you do fail to achieve a minimum ATA of 80, you only have the second option, which is to continue your studies locally.
So next, after pre-U, what are the courses and universities available for your degree?
You can choose yourself to either study in public universities or in private universities. And for private universities, JPA every year they will release a new list of universities. So you can choose which university you want to go based on your course.
So for public university, you can only go through the UPU system, but not the direct intake system, which is you need to pay money. JPA has given this pathway. And then for private university, you can refer to the list to choose any uni and the subject you want.
So for JKPJ, after you have completed your pre-U studies, you could go to any university depending on the course and country that you have chosen during the application process. For example, if you have chosen the engineering course, then you could apply for any engineering degree in Germany. However, it is still depending on you whether you could receive the offer from the university or not.
Next, how is the bonding after you graduate?
So let's talk about the JPA LSPM bonding. For public uni, we start to count the bonding start from degrees. So if you're studying in public uni and you're studying for 4 years degree, then you need to serve bond for 4 years. And if for private unis, if you're studying for 4 years degrees, you need to serve bond for 6 years. So basically, in public uni, 1 year studying is converted to 1 year bonds, and for private uni, 1 year studying is converted to 1 year and 6 month bonds.
After finishing the studies overseas, you will be required to serve your bond here in Malaysia for 10 years. Since the bond for JKPJ is when you study for 1 year, you need to serve the bond for 2 years. So you need to come back to Malaysia to serve the bond. So if you work in the government sector, you do not need to repay anything. If you work in the government-linked companies, GLC, you need to repay 25%. And if you work in the private sector, you need to repay 50%. And if you do decide to never come back, then you need to repay everything.
So next question, could you share some extracurricular activities that you joined before?
For outstanding extracurricular activities, we need to join before the scholarship application. For myself, I think that the extracurricular activities is a bonus for scholarship. It lets you stand out of the candidates. I would say that it is important, but I think the most important thing is you need to enjoy the extracurricular activity you have in secondary school. Just for myself, I am the president of chess club also. I hold a lot of position in many clubs, but the most important thing is I enjoy the activities I join. So it lets me have the experience to express to the interviewer in the interview.
For JPA, I extracurricular activity is not a very important thing, but it will make you stand out from other candidates. For myself, I was actively participating in all like clubs, societies, and also I hold certain positions. According to what Jason said, it's not about how many positions, how good you are, it's about enjoying what you are doing, and also the experience is very important. It's not about winning something or holding a position. The experience might be very useful in order to explain during the interview questions. So I think no need to fake your extracurricular activities during the application. Just be true who you are.
So as for extracurricular activities, I was the secretary for the Mathematics and Science Society in my secondary school. So I had decided to join this club because of my passion for math and science. In my opinion, one should join extracurricular activities based on his or her passion instead of just joining those activities to earn marks. Because the most easiest way to achieve excellence in extracurricular activities is to join those activities that you really like, that you really love, not for the sake of earning marks. And when you do join these activities that you really love, it is actually quite easy for you to actually earn marks also. It's actually beneficial for you from all ways.
So next, how is your interview performance?
So for JPA interview, we need to choose the Student Assessment Center. Where do you want to have your interview? So for me, I choose Malacca because it's nearer for me. And then for me, I'm the first slot in the first day. We have 5 candidates in a group. So we have 2 sessions. One is debate session and one is interview session. For debate session, it's 100% Bahasa Melayu. The panels will give you a title. For my session, 2 of us become a penyokong, 2 of us become pembangkang, and 1 become a moderator. So the moderator will control the flow of the debate. It's a hard position to become, but it's also a fun position. So the main thing of debate is you need to express your points, you need to discuss on the topics, but you do not have to take everyone as enemies. You can help your teammates to cover up the points, give more points on your teammates' points. So you just cover your teammates, then you can show your teamwork to the panels, and I think that helps. And for interview session, for me, I have 4 questions and 2 is in English, 2 is in Bahasa Melayu. So you need to excel in these 2 languages so you can talk more fluently to the panels to let them know that you can talk well in Bahasa Melayu and English. So when the panels ask you in Bahasa Melayu, you need to respond in Bahasa Melayu, and when the panel asks you in English, you need to respond in English. So for me, I think the most important thing in the interview is you need to express yourself in the interview but not over express it, because you cannot just don't give the chance for your teammates to say things. The panels will see you as an arrogant person. So the main thing is you need to have teamwork on your teammates. You need to control your time, give your chance to the teammates, and also express the best of you.
So for me, we only had 1 day interview session, but there were few slots, and I was in the first slot. They divide the students into few groups, and in my group, I remember there were 6 members. The flow of the interview is like one person will come and call us, and then they will bring us to a separate room where there will be 2 or 1 judges will be sitting there, and the judges will ask questions to you, maybe like around 5 to 6 questions to a person. You have to roughly answer to each question maybe for 1 minute or 1 to 2 minutes. You have to roughly estimate the time, and some general questions that I remember they asked to my teammates is like, what course you want to study in future, and what is the reason, do you know the job trend or job market about the course, which university you want to pursue, and why. Some other general questions. So I would suggest all of you to prepare answers for this kind of general questions. And after that, there was a debate session. It is conducted 100% in Bahasa Melayu. I feel it's more about how you work in a team. The teamwork is the key there. After that, the judges, they were very friendly, so you don't need to scare a lot. Just be yourself, be natural, do your thing best.
So for the JPA interview, I have chosen to attend the interview in Penang, and also I was allocated in the first slot, which is also 8 AM, and honestly it was quite tiring, so one should definitely get enough rest and enough sleep so that one can perform his best during the interview. So similar as Jason and Teja, during the JPA interview, it consists of 2 parts. However, mine is not the same as theirs. So for me, the first part was an interview, while the second part was a group discussion in which we need to discuss a certain topic. For example, if we are talking about the benefits of something, then we need to all talk about the benefits. And honestly, I feel that I did not really stand out during the interview since all my group mates were equally good, and I believe that everyone who actually entered the final stage of the interview will definitely be as good as you. So just try your best.
So next, anything else you wish to tell your juniors?
My advice is, if you're really firm, if you're 100% sure about which course you want to study in your future, for example, if you are 100% sure that you want to study medicine, these courses are only offered by JPA. No other scholarship bodies offer you to study medicine. Only JPA offer you to study medicine. So if you are like really firm enough, I would suggest all of you to only apply to LSPM, only for JPA, but you can still apply other scholarship. For example, you can apply to Petronas, Shell, Yayasan Kazanam as a backup plan. But for GPA, I would suggest only apply for LSPM, because although there are 3 programs offered by JPA and you apply for all 3, but then you want to study medicine, and at the end of the day, they will only give you 1 program. You want to study medicine, and if you get JKPJ, you cannot study medicine already, right? So if you're really sure, then I would suggest just apply for LSPM. But as a backup plan, I also suggest you to apply for other scholarship bodies also.
In another case, for JPA, if you are firm enough to study in IT or engineering or like science and social subjects in future, then I would suggest you to apply for PPN or JKPJ, because these 2 programs will give you an opportunity to go overseas to pursue your studies. So for PPN, you can pursue your studies in UK or US, one of the top universities like maybe University of Cambridge if you are good enough. So you will study A-levels in 21 months and then you can go for your degree in UK or US. And I think it is a good choice provided that you are interested in that courses. If you are not firm enough in your course, I would suggest you to choose ISPM because it gives you the biggest freedom to choose whatever you like. At last, wish you all to excel in every interview of the scholarship and then you get a good results in your SPM.
Yes, I hope all of you will get excellent result for SPM, and also all the best for all the interview application that you are going to face in future.
So just try your best. Even if you don't get offered any scholarship even after the Ryan process, it's alright. Just take it as a challenge in your life and move on and continue to achieve success and achieve excellence in your life. So I hope that everyone who applied for scholarship can receive a scholarship that you want.
Right, so big thanks to all of our JPA scholars today. So don't forget to smash the like button